Going to explain how to remove spaces from cells in Excel. There are several ways to do this, depending on what kind of spaces you want to remove. Leading spaces at the beginning of text, trailing spaces at the end, or spaces within the text itself. Using the trim function. This is the most straightforward method for removing leading and trailing spaces. The trim function leaves only single spaces between words. To use it, select an empty cell, type Shishon trim A1, replacing A1 with the cell containing the text you want to clean, and press Enter. This will remove all leading and trailing spaces from cell A1. To apply this to multiple cells, you can copy the formula down or across. For example, if your data is in column A, enter the formula in B1, and then drag the small square at the bottom right of the cell down to apply it to the rest of column A. 2. Using the clean function. The clean function removes non-printable characters from a cell, including some types of spaces that trim might miss. It's a good idea to use clean in conjunction with trim to ensure a thorough cleaning. The syntax is similar to trim, ext clean A1. You can use it alone or combine it with trim using nested functions, ext trim clean A1. This will first clean non-printable characters and then trim the leading and trailing spaces. Again, you can copy this formula to other cells. 3. Using the substitute function for removing spaces within the text. If you need to remove all spaces, including those between words, the substitute function is your best bet. This is a more complex solution and requires careful consideration to ensure you aren't removing spaces you actually want to keep. The substitute function replaces specific text with other text. To remove all spaces, you'd use it like this, substitute A1. This replaces all occurrences of a space with nothing. Remember, this removes all spaces, so use it cautiously. Find and replace for a visual approach. For a quick visual method, especially if you only need to remove spaces from a few cells, you can use the Find and Replace feature. Press Ctrl+H or CMD+H on a Mac. In the Find What box, type a space. Leave the Replace with box empty. Click Replace All. This will remove all spaces. Again, this includes spaces between words, so use with care. It's important to remember to save your work after using any of these methods. These 4 methods provide different ways to remove spaces depending on your exact needs. Remember to always back up your data before making any significant changes, and test these functions on a small sample of your data first to ensure they are working as intended before applying them to your entire dataset. Consider carefully which method best suits your specific requirements to avoid unintended data loss.